Welcome to this week's video for our raw material. We are discussing the listening pillar. Our raw material is a thought practice that leads each individual personally into their own passion and purpose, creative ability, creative mind, any of the things that help us feel confident in who we are regardless of what we've been through. This particular pillar, listening, is the second of the spiritual pillars and the sixth pillar of the practice. All 12 pillars are equally important. They don't go in any particular order other than to follow this system of emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical so that we take care of all of those parts of ourselves. These are subjects and concepts that come up daily in our lives, and we each think about them, but we might not put them within the context of how powerful they can be if we develop an actual intentional relationship with them. The listening pillar is one of the best pillars for just sitting quietly within yourself. It's the closest thing to meditation that our raw material does. And it helps us learn that every single breath we take is potentially a meditative act. When we are breathing with intention, we are in a meditative state. So using your body as a meditative instrument is one of the aspects of the listening pillar. Listening covers so many things in our lives. We decide whether we are a good listener, aren't a good listener, whether we prefer to talk, prefer to listen. We get judged on our ability to do or not do this pillar. So call it up for yourself right now. Get yourself comfortable. Imagine that you are standing in an ancient Grecian or Roman arena, 12 pillars all around you, equidistant. The listening pillar presented before you so that you can work a little bit on that relationship. Take some deep breaths. You can close your eyes or leave them open. But listen to what is just happening in the background of your thoughts. Could be a to-do list, could be a conversation that happened earlier in the day, could be song lyrics, anything that's just playing in the background. Pay attention. Give yourself a little bit of time to hear those words. Notice what they are. And then take your ears outside of yourself a little further. What's outside of the space that you're in? If you are outside, listen a little further. If you're inside, try to hear what's happening outside. These are just little exercises, but they lead us into a fuller capacity of listening. How often have you been in a situation where you have a conversation with someone, you both walk away feeling like you understood exactly what happened or exactly what the plan would be, let's say, and you go to execute the plan and all of a sudden there are details that were missed or there are points that didn't make it all the way. And we're baffled by this because we thought everything made so much sense. We listened and we thought that the other person listened. I think that this is a really good place to understand that our listening skill set takes place not only with our ears, but with so many other parts of our body. The biggest one being patterned reactions. And when we expect to hear certain things, just like when we expect to see certain things, that's what happens. So anything that's an anomaly, anything that's separate is going to catch our attention a little bit. But if we are just used to the same old, we are going to feel like we're in the same situation all the time, even though there's going to be a different bird singing outside. There's going to be a different noise, a different car driving by. These things change regularly, but we don't really notice them because it seems like a constant stream of sameness. Just like the voices of people that we have to listen to that maybe we don't enjoy listening to. Their voices can get monotonous and we tune out what they're saying. We tend to not hear their words because something in the tone bothers us. Likewise, in listening, we might listen so hard to specific words that we miss meaning. So listening is such a multi-pronged activity and it's personal. What we hear is often what's going on internally rather than what's happening externally. As we focus and pull ourselves into our own body to listen, we hear more. We understand a little bit more about what's important to us. Next week, we'll get to that in values and ideals. But this week, we're just identifying what is rattling around in there, what needs to come up, what would like to make itself known, what in our lives would like for us to listen. That's really all there is to the listening pillar, paying attention to what's going on around us and noticing it in different ways than we do regularly. That's the task for this week. I will be back next week, like I said, values and ideals. Until then, happy listening and have a fantastic week.